Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Clown Questions, the show where there are no dumb questions. I'm your host, Matt K. Maurer, and the question on my mind right now is, why did the Knicks fire Tom Thibodeau? I don't really know why. I have a couple ideas why, so I'll get into that. We'll do Goosebump moments of the week as always. First, your interruption with John Brenkus this week. Rest in peace. But on a less serious note, who's down to clown? No guest today. Sorry, guys. That's not how I introduce the theme song. Play it.
That's a clown question, bro.
So why'd the Knicks fire Thibodeau? It's a tough question to ask. There is kind of an obvious answer here, but you're wondering this. I feel like I'm asking this question for the third time. It's the third time this season an NBA coach has been fired with little to no explanation. I believe the explanation here is Thibodeau doesn't know how to utilize his bench. He overuses players. He's playing guys 40, 45 minutes a game when he should be giving them more of a rest, keep them fresher, especially against a deep team like the Indiana Pacers. He did it some, but not nearly enough, and I guess he's been fired because of it. Personally, I don't agree with his style. I think you should give bench guys like, Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson was a starter eventually in that series, but give some guys off the bench some more time just so your starters can rest. I know Cameron Payne's not a world beater or anything, but Jalen Brunson needs a breather every once in a while. Maybe that's why the Knicks lost. I don't know. It's probably more so because the Pacers are that good. Of course, the conference finals have concluded. My two conference finals cheaters picks, I had Pacers and Thunder in the finals. Not that impressive to pick when they're both up 2-0, but it was the finals we expected after seeing both of those 2-0 leads happen. So yeah, it'll be Pacers Thunder in the finals. But yeah, I'm getting off topic. I guess they fired Thibodeau because he plays people too much. He doesn't utilize his bench. That's really the only explanation I can think of, because other than that, it just doesn't make sense to me to fire a guy who finally got you to the conference finals. Finally got you to the conference final for the first time in 15, 20 years. I don't know the exact stat, but you would think, this recent Knicks success, he would be completely safe. But evidently they don't like the way he's handled the rosters and the substitutions and the coaching. Taylor Jenkins and Mike Malone were weird firings. This one's weird as well. But there's a little bit more of an explanation. It seems like Mike, like I said, Malone and Jenkins were both having a lot of success. They got fired when they were top 5 teams in the Western Conference. Those ones were more so, I think they just didn't mesh well with the players. So maybe that's the thing with Thibodeau. If a guy wouldn't let me, sit down and catch a breather and get some water, for more than 2 minutes in a game, I probably wouldn't be the biggest fan of him either. But I'm out of shape. I'm not an athlete. So that's a whole different story. Let's get into my next question. Who's gone? There's a couple people gone. We had some retirements and we had a trade. The retirements, I'll just quickly continue to steal PTI's line and say happy trails to Ronald Darby, Frank Ragnow, and David Andrews. David Andrews, 2-time Super Bowl champ. Frank Ragnow, a stalwart for the Detroit Lions. I'm the happiest of trails to Frank Ragnow. The 29-year-old retired a little sooner than we expected, and the Lions have a hole to fill at center, I believe he plays, maybe guard. Either way, he was a big O-lineman, big presence for them. Hopefully their offense without Ben Johnson and with the loss of Frank Ragnow stumbles a little bit. I'll say it now. I think Jaden Reed and my Green Bay Packers are going to win the division. I will knock on wood. Hopefully the microphone's picking that up. Happy trails to Darby, Ragnow, and Andrews. Don't have too much to say about Darby, but great player. I remember the name. I feel like the mark of a good defensive player, like not an amazing defensive player. We're not talking TJ Watt or Myles Garrett, but of a good defensive player is like if casual NFL fans recognize their name. You know what I'm saying? Most casual NFL fans, they know all the position players. They know all the, all the big stars at quarterback, receiver, tight end, and the D linemen. Like Khalil Mack or he's a linebacker, but like I said, a Watt or a Garrett. I think if those casual fans who mostly learn their football names from playing fantasy football, if they recognize your name, you're a good player. So like I said, I don't have any snippet on Darby here, but great player because I remember his name. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, good player. Happy trails. Andrews, the 2-time Super Bowl champ, is gone from the Patriots. I guess Will Campbell will be kind of taking over that leadership role for what was a horrid Patriots offensive line last year, frankly. But who else is gone is Bryce Huff. He is no longer on the Philadelphia Eagles. He really lit it up 2 years ago. Wasn't quite as effective last year, but I don't know. That defense is so stacked. I don't know if that means he should have had more or less sacks and tackles because I don't know. I feel like the defense is so good that there's not as many to go around as, when the defense wasn't, number one in the NFL like the Eagles were this year. But Bryce Huff, I didn't even mention who he's getting traded to. He's gone from the Eagles, and he's been traded to the 49ers. Big trade for the Niners. Like I said, Huff isn't quite at the level he was 2 years ago, but 49ers are obviously known for their staunch defenses over the years. So I think Bryce Huff will have a bit of a resurgence in San Francisco with, probably kind of an every down role there at pass rusher for them. So yeah, I don't know. I like the 49ers this year. As long, you got to put this caveat in. I mean, Jordan Mason's solid. Jordan Mason got traded though, didn't he? So I guess Guarendo's a solid backup running back, but I was gonna say if McCaffrey can stay healthy, I like that team to make the playoffs. I think I like that team to win the division. Rams are tough, but I don't know. I think maybe Stafford's slowing down, but it's hard to slow down when you got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. These shows are so weird. It's so weird to talk to yourself. I wish I had a show with someone else, but I will soon. We'll get some more shows cooking at some point. Let's move on to some baseball. Are the Rockies the worst team ever? They might be, maybe. Currently, they are 10-50, just absurdly bad. I love the round numbers, just an absurdly, ridiculously bad record for them. Their 8-42 start was the worst 50-game start in the modern era in MLB history. They're on pace to be one of the worst teams. I should have extrapolated their record and see what they're on pace to be. But I think they got like a 167 win percentage. That's not the lowest all time, but maybe it can go down even more. I mean, since that 8-42 start, they went 2-8. So I don't know if they keep playing like they are. They're gonna have they're gonna be competing for that worst team ever title. Obviously, last year's 2024 Chicago White Sox team was one of the worst ever. Some people say the worst ever. They tied the record for the most losses ever with 121. They finished the year with a 41-121 record. Arguably the worst team ever. Rockies are gunning for that title, but other than the White Sox, the worst team ever might have been the 1899 Cleveland Spiders. They have the worst win percentage in MLB history at 130. They finished the year with a 20-134 record. I guess that was before 62-game seasons, but yeah, 20 wins out of a 154-game series. That's hard to top. Rockies only need to double their win total, and we're less than halfway through the year. So they'll probably do that. I don't think the Rockies are the worst team ever, but I don't know. It'd be fun to see if they can gun for that White Sox record. But so yeah, while it's tough to predict that they're gonna top that 130 win percentage by the Cleveland Spiders, I do still believe in them failing. I believe they will probably fail. But after all that shit talk on the Rockies, I do want to say shout out to Orlando Arcia and Keston Herrera. Keston Hira. That's how you say it. Japanese names are hard to pronounce. Sorry, Keston. I hope I pronounced his first name right too. But yeah, the former Brewers legends, both on the Rockies, and I assume getting a lot of playing time as that roster not looking too hot this year. Speaking of a roster that's not looking too hot, actually, he's got a pretty hot roster. Stefon Diggs. If you saw that viral social media video of Stefon Diggs on a boat, something about wide receivers and boats in the NFL. There's always trouble. But yeah, he had a nice roster of some huzz for the boomers in the crowd. Huzz is slang for hose. It's kind of mean for me to call them hose, but I don't know. There's some hot chicks on this yacht with Stefon Diggs. I think I forgot to ask the question. Why wasn't Diggs at OTAs? That's the question. He was not at the mini camp here for the New England Patriots. And that's because of something he will probably face some legal trouble for. That video of him with the huzz featured Diggs, I think, pulling out a little baggie with some pink powder. And I saw that pink powder and I said, what the hell is that? Is that cocaine that they just dyed pink? Is it just pretty cocaine? Something like that? I don't know, but I did a little research. I wanted to see what this substance could be, so I did some Googling, and apparently it is known as pink cocaine, and that was kind of a right there answer. But yeah, he's doing that on the yacht. Pink cocaine is also known as Tusi, and it produces mind-altering hallucinogenic effects. It is likely that pink cocaine contains actually no cocaine at all. That's via DEA.gov, so a reliable drug source there. The DEA lab testing has identified pink powders containing combinations such as ketamine and MDMA. Wow. Meth, ketamine, and MDMA. If the ketamine, MDMA, pink cocaine ain't enough for you, we'll throw a little meth in there. Another combination is cocaine and fentanyl. So I guess some of them do have cocaine. I would hope there's fucking no fentanyl in that pink cocaine. I'm sure Diggs is getting the highest quality pink cocaine money can buy. So I would assume there's no fentanyl. But yeah, another possible combination of what is in pink cocaine is fentanyl and Zazine. Ziazine, however you say it. It's a weird sounding word. Sounds like something RFK Jr. will be, banging on the table to ban in addition to vaccines. Sorry, off topic. Don't mean to get political here. But yeah, fentanyl or xyzine is apparently used as a common veterinary drug for sedation, muscle relaxation, and pain relief in animals. The street name of the drug is Trank. Sometimes they use it to cut heroin or fent, aka fentanyl. But yeah, interesting. You didn't obviously see Diggs doing the pink cocaine, but it looked like he procured the pink cocaine and was sharing it with the huzz, which that's kind of an interesting video to see him with the huzz, because then I saw another rumor right around that same time that he's now dating Cardi B. So yeah, I guess all I can say is welcome to the Stefon Diggs experience, Patriots fans. Jack DePoe, Harry Smith calling you guys out. Welcome to the Diggs experience. And yeah, welcome to the Stefon Diggs experience to Cardi B as well. Maybe Cardi B will fix him. She could fix me. I always see some goth torta and say that. So, I don't think I've ever seen a fine goth torta. That's a challenge, guys, to find me. I'm really getting off topic here. Sorry about that. Let's get to my next question. Who's hurt? We got two big injuries I wouldn't call this one a huge injury. It's a huge player, not in weight, but in impact. Caitlin Clark, she will be out 2 weeks. For some reason, I didn't even write down what the injury is, but yeah, I guess they're going to lose a bunch of viewers, fans, and attendees for 2 weeks. Unfortunately, WNBA, they need another superstar. No offense to Asia Wilson and Arike Ogunbowale, but apparently they're not pushing the ratings. Juju Watkins would do it. Praying she comes back from that ACL injury well. But yeah, Clark out 2 weeks. I think the Indiana Fever will be fine. It'll be interesting to see if they can contend for a title this year. The other person who is hurt is Zach Hyman. He is out for the season. He is he's on the Edmonton Oilers. Couldn't tell you what position he plays. Couldn't even really name all the positions in hockey. I'm getting into it. Nemo, shout out him. He sent me a link to a Leafs jersey today, so I got to buy one of those soon and get full on the Austin Matthews Toronto Maple Leafs hype. But yeah, hoping Canada can break the drought this year and win a Stanley Cup. I'll do my Stanley Cup pick at the end of the show, but I don't know. I hate to see the warm weather teams doing well in hockey. The Florida Panthers, really, like, you guys have never seen ice in your life. Well, I mean, except in your drinks, because shit's hot, but you'll need it. But you've never seen ice outside other than in a cup. Sorry, I'm all over the place as usual. Welcome to Clown Questions, if this is episode 1 that you're watching. But yeah, that's who's hurt. This one hurts. This one's very sad. And that's our segment today. It's a sad segment. But I did find kind of a lighthearted moment to kind of try and cope with that a little bit. But that's this week's first year interruption. It will be with the late great John Brenkus. I've never seen someone phrase it like this, but it was reported yesterday that he lost his battle with depression. Of course, I would assume that means he committed suicide. So very sad. John Brenkus was, of course, the host of ESPN's Sports Science, a show I really enjoyed watching. I thought it was a great show because it kind of showed to ordinary people, even avid ball watchers who don't play, it showed them kind of how, like, ridiculously athletic and strong and skilled professional athletes really are, and that you think maybe, I was talking shit a couple weeks ago. I was saying Christian Yelich dropped that. I 100% think I'm a better outfielder than Christian Yelich. I shouldn't say that. Shouldn't talk shit. He's got like 5 homers in the last 10 games. So, Christian, if you're watching this, I take it back. But yeah, let's get to. I'm getting off topic. Let's get to some first year interruption with John Brenkus. Rest in peace. This is a fun little segment of Brandon Jacobs truck sticking John Brenkus. So just John taking one for the team, making the show great as always. So here it is, first year interruption with Mr. John Brenkus. Rip.
Brandon Jacobs at 6'4", 264 is the biggest running back in the NFL. But how much force does he generate when breaking a tackle? To find out how hard Brandon hits, I'm going to let him plow me over at full force.
I'm going to take my big body and plow right into him and let people sitting at home on their couches watching the game saying, why did that guy break free like that? Come on, I could do better than that. So let people see that, you know what? No, you can't do that.
I'll be outfitted with an accelerometer, which will measure the force Brandon delivers when he hits me.
Okay, you ready, John? 3, 2, 1, go!
Our sensors show that Brandon ran over me with nearly 2,500 pounds of force.
Just insane seeing John Brenkus take one for the team there, getting hit by who was the biggest running back in the NFL at the time. Just truly committed to the bit. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, yes, I'm bragging. I might add myself to Pandora and Deezer and some weird ones soon. But yeah, if you're listening rather than watching, you should go back and watch that first interruption and watch John Brenkus just get truck sticked by Brandon Jacobs. But just shows how committed he was to showing people, like, you know, how impressive professional athletes really are, to show me how unathletic and how I have no right to be talking shit to any of these professional athletes as I do on a weekly basis. I kind of missed an episode last week. This isn't a mega show. I didn't have enough content for that. It's only top 10 moments, so I don't know. I'm going to try not to miss any weeks. I got to lock in more. It's on me. It's just I have bad time management. I can do it. I'm too much of a procrastinator at nature. But yeah, all I can really say to John Brenkus is rest in peace. Obviously, thoughts and prayers to his friends and family. Really, really sad situation. And yeah, I just want to say, yeah, I don't mean to make it. I don't like doing these sad segments, but I wanted to pay a little tribute to Brenkus because Sports Science was one of my favorite shows to watch growing up on ESPN. But yeah, I just want to say never hesitate to reach out for help. You know, I know it might feel like you're a burden to your family or friends when you, and I hate this term, trauma dump. I understand the term in some context, but sometimes you do need to trauma dump. But yeah, don't feel like you're being a burden when you open up to someone about your depression, because your friends and family would much rather you do that than suffer in silence. And we don't want anyone to, you know, obviously lose their battle to depression like John Brenkus did. So, yeah, rest in peace, John Brenkus, and yeah, prayers to everyone who was close to him. So, on a lighter note, let's get to everyone's favorite moment of the week. Let's do these Goosebump moments of the week. Starting out with number 10. We got a hometown kid. Actually, I don't know if he's from Wisconsin, but a hometown walk-off here. It's Caleb Durbin and the Brew Crew staying hot on this 10th inning walk-off sac fly.
Winning run standing at third. Fly ball into center. Raphael is back. Tagging is Freeland. Raphael makes the catch. Here's the throw home. It is late. Ball game over. Caleb Durbin does it again.
Number 9, Padres walk it off on a wild pitch in the 11th.
Here comes Tyler Wade. He is safe. For the first time tonight, the Padres are ahead, and this is when it counts.
And the Padres win this ball game in the 11th.
Bottom of the ninth.
Number 8, Brooks Lee sneaks one into the outfield to win it for the Twins.
Up the middle, and that will sneak into center field. Correa scores. The Twins do it again. They walk off the Royals in back-to-back games.
Such a good jump, and Jeffers had...
Number 7, Randy Arozarena hits one up the middle for a walk-off single for Seattle.
Ground ball, Mariners win! Randy Arozarena wins it in the bottom of the 9th inning.
All right.
Number 6, Rafael Devers with a walk-off base hit in the 10th. Rafi.
Is swung and grounded up the middle into center field. Base hit. Ball game over. They pitch to Rafi. They pay the price. Red Sox win it 6-5.
Number 5, this is a cool one. Cole Young walks it off in his major league debut. What a moment.
Swinging a ground ball, bouncing softly to third, first base throw home. Not in time! It's a walk-off for the Mariners. Cole Young in his major league debut is showered with seeds and gum, and the water bucket in shallow right field.
Number 4, Christian Walker sends one into orbit on this walk-off homer for Houston.
Ball game! Christian Walker walks it off, and the Astros win it and take 3 out of 4 from the Seattle Mariners.
Number 3, Christian Yelich hits a moonshot on this walk-off grand slam.
The comeback ended with a Yelly bomb.
Number 2, Ella Parker walk-off dinger for Oklahoma softball.
Sends it out deep center field. Ella Parker walks it off for Oklahoma.
Number 1 moment of the week, Lauren Allred with a walk-off sac fly as Texas Tech upsets the defending champs.
Davis to the plate. Save! Texas Tech has done it. They end the greatest dynasty in college softball history. The Red Raiders storm to the championship series.
What a moment for Lauren Allred and Texas Tech. Love to hear it. You heard that little announcer voice crack at the end. I don't know why. I love to hear an announcer's voice crack because that means it's just a natural reaction and they're just enjoying the moment. So I love to hear that. But yeah, Texas Tech upsetting Oklahoma. Oklahoma with the walk-off at number 2 with the dinger. But Lauren Allred, they're headed to the Women's College World Series. I believe it'll be Texas versus Texas Tech, a Subway Series of sorts. But yeah, crazy win for Texas Tech, upsetting not only the defending champs, but a dynasty in Oklahoma. I think they've played in every single Women's College World Series since like 2019. So crazy win for Texas Tech. You love to see it. I've really gotten into baseball, man. The more and more I watch it, the more I realize it's electric. The pitching clock, I think the pitch clock has really made it more watchable on TV. Hate the pitch clock at the game because the game ends sooner. But it is what it is. But yeah, baseball has been dope. Been watching a lot of college baseball, a little bit of softball as you saw there. But yeah, I don't know. I probably missed some college baseball moments. There's been some crazy games. I saw West Virginia beat Kentucky 13-12. So yeah, I think once the NHL and NBA are over, I'm gonna go all in on baseball this summer. So it'll be an interesting summer of shows. I kind of had the crutch last summer of the Olympics. So I was like, oh, am I gonna talk about baseball this whole summer? It's like, well, no, you got an entire month of Olympic content to talk about. But yeah, it'll probably be all baseball and, maybe a little NBA free agency if Giannis does something. And yeah, just NFL preseason. I feel like I probably talk about the NFL on every show. So that'll probably continue. But I'm rambling as I do. But let's finish out the show here with my Stanley Cup final pick. Is it the Stanley Cup final or the Stanley Cup final? See, this is how I'm not a puck head. I don't know if that's what y'all call yourselves. I'm not a hockey guy, but I'm getting into it. Not as much as I'm into baseball, but what I'm excited for is that it's a repeat of last year. Panthers versus the Oilers, Florida versus Edmonton, warm weather versus cold weather. And that's exciting to me because as someone who's still learning about hockey, I don't know the rules. I don't know many of the players. I do know McJesus and Bobrovsky, two of the best players, probably the best player on each of those respective teams. Oh, shit. We got some Brewers. Okay, I'm getting distracted by the Brewers over there. We've won 8 straight. How can that not be distracting to you? Keep it up, Brewers. But, yeah, back to the Oilers and the Panthers. I think it's really good for hockey. Not that hockey's not already a huge sport, but to kind of grow the game, I think it's great for there to be a repeat Panthers-Oilers again. Because I think, for me personally, I think it'll be a little easier to kind of remember what happened last year and kind of gain more new information and kind of learn a little bit about it. I feel like even people who didn't watch basketball, they knew about Warriors Cavs because it happened 4 years in a row. So I don't know. I don't know if I want Oilers Panthers next year, but I'm kind of glad we got it this year. But yeah, I'll make my pick. Obviously, I'm very uninformed on hockey. Don't know shit about puck. But I've heard for the Florida Panthers, Bobrovsky's the best goalie in the league. If I'm correct, he is. And then I know I'm correct on this one. Connor McDavid is the best player in the league. So it's best player on offense versus best player on defense. Zach Hyman out for the year for the Oilers. But despite Zach's Hyman injury, I don't know if he injured his Hyman. That's his last name, excuse me. Despite Zach Hyman's Hyman injury, I got the Oilers in 7. And yeah, the Canadian drought coming to an end. I think last time was like 93 with the Montreal Canadiens, but I got Canada finally getting one this year. McJesus finally wins the big one. And yeah, that drought, to me, I know it's big for Leon Draisaitl and McDavid to play well and them to, somehow get past the greatness that is Sergio Bobrovsky. But I think the Canadian drought being broken really relies on only one thing, an answer of yes to this question. Will Oilers girl be in attendance?